Yes, hello. I'd like to first publicly thank all of our residents for their patience and understanding with respect to our tram renovation project. It has been a nightmare for many, including RIOC. And I want to thank Prince Shah, who you've met tonight, who really just rose to the occasion. You know, there was a possibility that we would have to close down the entire tram. And frankly, because of Prince, he sat there, he created a security plan and a safety plan, which POMA adopted. And I publicly want to thank Prince. We could not have done it without you. And safety is the most important thing. And these are maintenance projects that have to be done. So unfortunately, we're stuck with it. When this project is done, when the road relocation project is done, we're supposed to be moving directly into the gearbox renovation, but I've been told as early or as late as this afternoon that the parts for that haven't come in yet. They're coming over from Europe and haven't come through customs. So once they finish this part, if we're not ready to go right into the gearbox renovation, we'll go back to the 2 cabins running again. And as soon as we can start with the gearbox repairs, we will, and the gearbox repairs will require us to go back to 1 cabin for probably 4 weeks, but I think that's conservative, and POMA likes to give us a date that's more conservative than not. But the gearbox renovation will, there'll never be a complete shutdown. The middle platform will never be closed, so it won't be as inconvenient as the current situation.
Do we have an understanding of why the gearbox needs to be fixed and why both of them don't? It's something great. And do we have a report?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the useful life, but Prince, maybe you could answer Mr. Crowd. Is it just the useful life of the gearbox?
Yes, it is. It's just a maintenance project. So it's like in your car, you would change oil, gears, it's the same thing.
Well, the gearbox is not the same as changing oil.
Well, changing oil is
So why not both gearboxes? Is there only 1 gearbox?
There is total 5 gearboxes. 1 is safety, and then there's 2 gearboxes per tram. So there's this gearbox overhaul project or maintenance project is for all 5 gearboxes.
The good news is that we have the Cherry Blossom Festival coming up on April 13th, and both trams will be running on April 13th. We have POMA's assurance of that, and we also have the MTA's assurance that the F train will be running on April 13th. So those are, I see that Deputy Chief Brown is not here. I thought he was here.
He was,
but he has been working on a safety plan for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and we will at least have all the transportation to the island working. We also reached out to the ferry to see if they could put on extra ferries toward the end of the day to get visitors off the island, and we haven't gotten a response yet from them. As I mentioned earlier, we have a new Assistant Vice President of Capital Projects and Planning. Her name is Jana Kamana Graf. She is starting on Monday. She spent virtually her whole career at New York City Parks. She's an architect. Her background is huge projects for city parks. I think it's very exciting. I think you're all gonna like her. She's done all kinds of projects, both building projects in parks as well as fields and track and field. She also brings to us the knowledge and connections with New York City. Often our projects run into delays because of approvals and permits we need, and we're hoping she'll be able to help us in that area as well.
What was her name?
Her name is Jonna, Jonna, Karmana Graf.
Yeah, I like the fact that she has experience in public, with the public.
She spent over 30 years at New York City Parks. She retired and went home and said, I don't want to be retired, and she saw our posting and responded to it. As we mentioned earlier, also Blackwell House is almost ready for our ribbon cutting. Our project manager, Janet, raise your hand. She's been working feverishly on making the internal part of the house beautiful. And we're anxious to get to the point that we're gonna open it. She's also been working with Judy Birdie on exhibits for the house, the history of the house, the history of the island. We've got a consultant who is an expert in museum exhibitions, and the three of them have been working together. I've seen the drawings regarding where these different photos are going to be. Janet has picked out fantastic fixtures and furniture for the house, and we're anxious to start having events there. As soon as we know when all the punch list items are done, when the ramp is done, we will advise the community about a ribbon cutting and invite everybody in to see it. I hope everybody will be excited. I know we are. With respect to the youth center, people have asked me what's going on with the youth center. Well, as you may recall, the youth center project, once the contractor got into the youth center, the building was in much greater disrepair than anybody thought. It needed a lot more work. And so we terminated that contract, went out with a new RFP, which set forth the scope that was actually needed for that project. We wound up getting a bunch of bids, 8 bids, thank goodness. We're evaluating the bids right now, and we will be bringing a contractor to this board at the next meeting. The Motorgate waterproofing project, for anybody who parks in Motorgate, everyone is aware that there is a serious waterproofing problem. It's been talked about, there have been studies, it's been sitting around for a long time. Well, thank goodness we're finally moving forward. We got 3 bids in this week. We're evaluating the bids, and we will be bringing it to the board again on April 11th. We will be going out to the public. The Motorgate will never be closed. We'll be going out to the public with a plan as to how it's going to be worked, where, if your spot is on a certain spot, which is being worked on, what's gonna happen, and all of the issues that will impact anyone who uses Motorgate. And as soon as we have that finalized, we will publish it. With respect to publishing information, you probably know we have not had a public information officer for a while. We have been posting, we found somebody that's gonna help a lot in terms of getting information out to the public. I'm not sure of the starting date yet, but I'm anxious for our candidate to begin and to meet our local media and also our local stakeholders, and really to get more information out to the public as to what is happening. As I said, the Cherry Blossom Festival is going to be on April 13th. RIOC has been working with RIRA, and we're excited about participating in that. I don't know how many people will be showing up, but last year we had about 10,000, which has caused us to get PSD more involved. We'll have more security than we did last year, because the year before it wasn't as popular. Also, please note that the Motorgate Gallery opening will be on April 5th, and we'd love everybody to come. It's a nice event. There's usually, I think there's a jazz trio, and we will be, I don't know if Riva is deciding right as we speak where the new paintings are gonna be.
We already did that.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Great, so it'll be all the paintings from Fall for Arts for the last year, which will now, those of us who are excited to see the new work, I'm looking forward to it, and again, it's April 5th.
All right, committee reports, audit committee?